Welcome to episode 1 of How to Do Character Voices with the Beginner Player. This is a series designed for just your average Joe Schmo, random person who can just get in their car, practice a few voices, and show up to a session feeling a lot more confident. Today, we're going to go over the basics of voice acting most characters, but we're going to focus on humans because you're human and that's simple. There are a few elements that we're going to learn to kind of create a unique and interesting character. And the first of those elements we're going to talk about is speed. How fast does your character talk? Some characters might be slow and think on what they're going to say. They might be a bit more relaxed and more just going with the flow, where some characters might be a little bit more sharp and sound worried and kind of anxious, or maybe a bit more short and he's got something to say. These things express emotion with your character. It expresses personality. Personality is what you're looking to express. Don't worry about the quality of your voice. Don't worry about how you sound. Don't worry about how people are going to perceive you. Just look to express personality. That is the best advice I can give for new players, and that's really how we remember each other's characters. The personality in the voice that you express is what people remember. So on this first element, speed, is your character fast in talking, or is he on the slower side? The next thing to think about is pitch. Is your character down here, or is he up here? Is your character big and burly and got something to say? Or is he a little bit on the higher, more quiet side? A little bit more breathy and perhaps higher pitch in his tone? Or is your character on the higher pitch side? Does he have a little something to say in a high pitch? The pitch I often correlate with size. Low characters, you can use a low tone to express a character that's bigger, stronger. Or you can use a higher, more breathy tone to express a character that's maybe more gentle and less worrisome. Someone that isn't really going to bother you, and more fragile and dainty and perhaps more cultured. Element 1 was speed. Element 2 is pitch. What happens when you combine these two things? Go ahead and try this for yourself. Let's try a low-pitch character who talks fast. I was just walking along the road when I saw a knoll, and I swear I'm not lying. This character's a bit more nervous, maybe kind of a big, nervous character. What happens when we do the opposite? Let's have a slow character who talks higher. Hello, friend. Welcome to my magical shop. You find yourself in good hands now. You can feel the difference in character just from these super simple things. And these are super, super simple, super easy. Just speed and pitch. And that's really, if you're just starting out, that's all you need to go ahead and voice a character that people are going to remember and have fun with. The next element I'd like to talk about is breathiness. On one side, you have very breathy, very open, and on the other, you have more constricted. So a breathy character might sound a bit more elegant, relaxed, and he might have a different personality than someone who's really constricted and maybe, he's got a busy day ahead of him and someone just ripped him off and he's, having him down on his luck and, this character sounds a lot different than this one. what happens when you combine those three things? Go ahead and take a moment and pick out three different things. Pick out something from speed. Is your character fast, or is this character slow? Pick out something from pitch. What pitch does your character speak in? And then either add a breathiness to it or constrict it and see what kind of a voice you make. I'll do one with you here, just for fun. Let's pick a character who is a fast speaker, in a high pitch, and is a bit breathy.
I was walking along the road when I saw, to my very own eyes, a manticore. I swear it was absolutely terrifying, and it took away one of my horses, and I had to run back on foot. Fortunately, the beast didn't seem to notice me.
So that's maybe perhaps a little merchant on the road. What happens if we do the opposite of that? We do a character who talks slow, who has a low pitch, and who is constricted. So low pitch, talks slow and really thinks about what he's going to say, and then is constricted. Talks slow and really thinks about what he's gonna say, and goes about his day doing whatever, probably maybe moving some boxes, or fighting some monsters, all in a day's work for me. You can feel and hear the difference that just those basic things create. The last element that I'm going to cover for today is loudness. Some characters might be more quiet and some might be more loud. So how do we distinguish the two? Well, here's a character that's a little bit quieter, and perhaps he's more nervous and careful with his words. And here's a character who's very loud and isn't afraid to talk loud. How confident is your character? Are they overconfident or perhaps underconfident? Loudness can help communicate a lot of things. And to create loudness, one of the best ways to do it is to push out from your chest. Push out more air, just as if you were yelling. Or maybe push out less air and make an effort to do that less. That can change a lot about your character as well. So, take a moment and pick a category from each of these four that we've talked about and make a quick character for yourself and see how it sounds. Just for fun, I'll do one with you here. Let's pick a character who talks normally. We're not going to worry about number one, who is low pitch, so we'll lower our voice. He's a bit breathy, and he's loud. I've been waiting here for 5 minutes, and I don't see anyone in sight. How does this sound if we alter one thing? What if he's quiet? And I don't see anyone in sight. I've been waiting here for 5 minutes. What happens if we change it from, say, he's loud, and maybe we add on step one that he's a fast talker? I've been waiting here for 5 minutes, and I don't see anyone in sight. All of these little things go to help create a character. So if you're a new player and maybe you have a character that you want to voice, sit down and just with these 4 qualities, write out how your character sounds. Is your character slow, or is he short with how he talks? Is your character high pitch, low pitch? Where is your character's pitch? Is your character a breathy voice or a constricted voice? Is your character loud, or is he or she soft? I guarantee if you just follow these 4 simple steps, you will be able to create a unique personality. And for most of my players, or characters that I've played, those basic personalities, nothing flashy that you need to do, anything crazy voice acting with, just something simple that people remember. Take a look at Critical Role, for instance, if you've ever watched that show, or perhaps Dimension 20, or really any D&D show ever out there. Most of the players who get really into their characters, they just do something very simple, like a barbarian that's big and talks slow. Oh, I'm a big barbarian. Oh, I talk slow. Oh. That's a very simple way of expressing a unique character, and when you mix it all together, it makes for a very fun and interesting time. And I guarantee that your friends will remember the basic personality and vibe of the character that you create. And at the end of the day, we're all telling a story together. So have fun with it. Run with it. See what kinds of sounds you can create in your character. And it doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be perfect. It can just be simple, and that's okay. And at the end of the day, D&D is just getting a bunch of people together and just having fun, and that's what it's all about. So bring that to your table. Happy voice acting. Good luck.